Hey, what's up everybody? Jason here. Welcome to One Take Wednesday, a show where I take your comments and try to do a little demo to see if I can fix the problem or figure out what might be happening with your comment instead of just answering it with speculation. So let's get right to it. The first comment from Timo: can you play a drum track and just leave the drum track play and play along with it? The answer to that is no, because when you go into jam mode, whatever you play just plays all of the instruments. There's nothing in any of the settings. If you go up into the settings here on the top right, you can transpose it up and down, you can adjust the BPM, but you can't actually mute, or there's no mixer to do anything with the instruments, so you can't just play along with drums. I guess the only way you could do it is if you went into if you searched for music that was just a drum track or just to play along with a metronome. But that's just going to play a regular metronome. It doesn't give you any type of... Yeesh, that's terrible. It doesn't give you any option to just use a software drummer. So for that, you could use the built-in drummer with GarageBand or with Logic or Superior Drummer, Easy Drummer, any plugins, but obviously you'd have to use those on your computer. The other option you would have is if you've got an Android device or an Apple device and you just wanted to play along with drums, find a free drum machine on the Android, the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and then that would allow you to do it. All right, the next question is about using Auria Pro for audio recording. So the interesting thing is on their support website, they do have what audio interfaces work with my iPhone, iPad that they actually just updated yesterday. So that link will be in the description. You can find out some more detailed information about what will work, but it's a little bit confusing because on their other page where they talk about hardware FAQs, can Spark work as an audio interface? It says yes, it'll work with Windows and Mac. Install the Windows ASIO driver if you need to, but it says please note that Spark does not work as an audio interface for iOS and Android devices. So I saw that article first, which obviously isn't true because I've used GarageBand to record previously before, but really any DAW on your mobile device should work provided you have a relatively modern device. So it's impossible to know all the different combinations, but the Spark app itself for controlling the amp will only work with iOS 12 and up, and it will work with, I think, Android 7 and up, but I'll put this link in the description for you to check out. But just to quickly demo this, let me go ahead and try. I wasn't willing to pay the $70 for Auria Pro, so I ended up downloading a free one called Recording Studio Lite. I also looked at Cubase LE, but it does not allow audio recording with the free version. So I have the Spark app on an iPad Pro, latest version of iOS, latest version of firmware. It's plugged in from the Spark USB using a USB-C cable here. So it should work exactly the same with the Lightning cable. So I've done tests with using Lightning cables to connect to regular iPads. So as long as your iPad meets the specs from the Positive Grid site, you wouldn't be able to use an iPad 1, 2, and I think the first generation Air are not compatible because those can't be upgraded to the latest version of iOS. So let's just see what happens here. So it's recording. Hello, are you recording my voice? Nope. There you go. So the simplest answer to your question, Ray, is... Jeez, that's annoying. Is yes, it should work with that just fine, but I wasn't willing to pay the $70. So if you already have it, plug it into your mobile device and it should all work just fine. All right, the next question comes from Harry. So is it mono recording only? Will the stereo effects from the Spark amp be lost? The easy answer for this is there are no stereo effects in the Spark app itself. Yes, it's a stereo amp. Yes, you could record in mono or stereo, but there are no actual settings in the Spark app itself. I'm going to get rid of that Recording Studio Lite because it will be annoying. So again, here was the test for audio, trying to add a new track with Cubase just to wrap up the last one. So audio, this feature is not enabled in demo mode, which sucks. So, but I would assume if something free and cheap as the other one works, should work pretty much with anything. So first, if you look at any of these mods, so if you look at the phaser, there's no stereo control here. If you look at the flanger, there's nothing to ping pong or pan the actual effect. It's just all the settings pretty much have rate, how much of it will go in the mix, what the depth is, and then with delay it will have different timings for delay. Reverb, it has different sizes of rooms, but none of these, I thought maybe the chorus effect might have it. There's just rate and depth. Classic vibe, nothing there. In the delay settings, nothing here, just repeat rate, mode selector, etc. Reverse delay, nothing there. I've already looked through all of these, so I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but echo, same thing. Delay, tone, feedback, and level. But let's just turn all these on. I'll turn a flanger on as well, or a phaser, I mean. And what the heck, let's give it a shot. So let's flip over to Logic here. Make sure my Spark USB is selected. Let's go audio 1. So even if you listen to it through the headphones, you won't hear any stereo effects in there at all. So yes, you could record through the headphone out. You would need a 1/4 inch, you need a 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter. And an audio interface to be able to do that. So let's make sure that this is plugged in and it will work just fine. I'm going to reinitialize my Spark Audio. Okay. There we go. And let's record and see what happens. Play it back, but let's turn that down. So a little reminder that it's the tiny volume knob beside the headphones is what actually controls the output level from your DAW, not the output knob for the actual amp on the Spark. Okay, and let's now try another track, but I'm going to switch this to a stereo input. So a really easy way to test this is if you look at the signal, the stereo, the left and right in the meter there is exactly the same. So no, there are no stereo effects in the Spark, so not anything to be concerned about. If you really want to do another test, I'll do a quick recording here with this in. So the stereo waves are exactly the same. So no, there are no stereo effects. And an interesting thing that you can try, this is kind of a bonus, it's not really related to this question, but if you use a frequency analyzer, this will actually give you what, where you might have some phase problems, and it will show you what the actual stereo spectrum is, plus the frequency spectrum. So you can see this is all right straight up the middle. So no, there's no stereo effects with the Spark, so that wouldn't work either. So interesting question from Ian. So on my 3-month review of the Spark, he talked about a 30 hertz boost on a guitar track. Yeah, it didn't seem like it would be a good idea, but let's test that out. The 30 hertz boost. All right, so let's have a listen and see if this makes any kind of difference whatsoever. So one way to test this is kind of a bonus lesson as well, is to get rid of everything below, below what you want to hear. And let's see if we're getting any little chunking. Hello? Chunking? Anything? Let's roll this back. That's not very lovely. I would assume I'm just doing the technique wrong, but I listened to it on Glenn's channel, and honestly, I didn't really hear it doing anything different, but your mileage may vary. Give it a shot. Alright, so hope you enjoyed this short video. Hope this helped clear up a few things about the Spark amp for you. Remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and we will get your comment on the next show if it's something I can help you out with. See you on the next one.